Hey, I'm going to show you how to find your L2 Immutable X wallet. As you know, Immutable X, IMX token, initiated staking. It starts on July 1st, which is tomorrow. And some of you might have trouble finding even where is the L2 wallet that you're supposed to stake your Immutable X token into. If you're a kid, probably I go too slow for you. So this is more for the older adults who need a little bit more time being walked through how to set this stuff up. So if you need help staking your Immutable X tokens, this isn't financial advice. I'm not recommending you do anything. Talk to a financial advisor if that's what you're looking for. But I will show you just from a technical perspective, step by step, how I was able to stake Immutable X tokens. Before I begin, I do want to address the audience who's been following the channel as we talked about an exciting new launch, Sky Labs VSL token that's launching soon. What you might be wondering, why am I talking about Immutable X when there's this exciting launch coming up? Well, those of you who've been using Vetter platform to find projects that are launching out there, early stage blockchain projects, and you've been generating the 3x's. I saw 97x. That's 9,700% returns that people are seeing. More often 2x, which is 200%. Those of you that are using this to generate profits during this bear market, as you know, one of my strategies, again, not financial advice for you, but one of my strategies is to take some of those profits that we're generating. And for those that aren't familiar with this platform, these are, 3x was reported yesterday, another 3x by someone else, 7x. Some of them are really big. There was a 30x down here, and they don't all get reported. We saw 97x last month. We take the profits and we put them into projects. At least I do, like Immutable X, that have strong fundamentals and that have revenue. The other reason why I'm talking about Immutable X, for those of you that are wondering with the Sky Labs launch coming up, is because Sky Labs has a revenue-based staking system. In other words, they're not printing tokens and giving stakers tokens printed out of thin air, which is an inflationary type thing. It drives the price of the tokens down. I mean, how many times have you guys gotten into staking and then the token price goes way down? Well, that's because a lot of these projects just print tokens out of thin air, and that's how they pay their stakers. That's not going to be very effective. Sky Labs isn't going to do that. Sky Labs uses a revenue-based model. They're sharing revenue with their stakers. Immutable X is doing the same thing. So for those of you that are excited about the Sky Labs launch, you're wondering why I'm talking about Immutable X so much, that's one of the reasons. I'll be talking about a lot of projects that I take profits from the projects that we're getting into that we find on Vetter platform. And I put them into these projects like Immutable X, and there's others that have long-term huge potential because they have found fundamentals that are strong and they have revenue, and they're doing smart, sustainable practices like their Immutable X revenue-based staking, which is just like what Sky Labs launch coming up is doing. That's their type of staking, very sustainable. Anyway, okay, so that's why I just needed to address, that's why I'm gonna be talking about these things, guys, even though yes, Sky Labs is exciting, but there's other things going on in crypto and it all connects. I'm taking profits from launches and I put it into other things that have this is how you do it. Again, not advice, but talking to myself, I guess. So, okay, how do you get set up with Immutable X? Well, first of all, if you're at immutable.com, IMX token, you click up here and you're going to see that they've got the staking section, how does staking work? I'm not going to do a big long video on how it works here. We'll do more follow-up videos on that. I want to kind of move into how do you find your L2 wallet and put your IMX in there and get set up for staking, because you need to have it in there. I will just read a little bit here. Staking works on 14-day cycles. During each cycle, protocol fees, again, that's revenue, are collected, and 20% of those fees are converted to IMX and made available for distribution to eligible IMX stakers. I will go over real quick what it takes to be eligible. See an example below, and they're just kind of showing that what you get, if you staked 100 IMX tokens and the total staked in this example was 1,000 by the entire community of stakers, then your reward would be 10% of the revenue pool that's generated, from the protocol fees. So pretty cool. How do I earn IMX rewards? Again, stake tokens. Trade NFTs is another requirement. So they're saying you need to trade one NFT at least within that 14-day cycle, in addition to staking your tokens in order to qualify. And then it says receive IMX rewards. At the end of the 14-day cycle, your proportion of IMX rewards will be attributed to your wallet. Okay, so I just want a little message to those of you who maybe don't have a lot of resources right now. Maybe you haven't, been able to take advantage of these 3Xs and 7Xs. Maybe you're new to this channel. You might want to follow this channel because I'll be talking a lot more about all of these things. But if you're low on resources, again, not financial advice, but this is how I navigated this stuff early on before I wanted to risk a lot of things while I was learning. I would take like the minimum amount of something. Like here, they require only 10 IMX tokens, which is like $10. And I would go through the process. So I would be learning what's going on in DeFi without risking anything, or at least, $10, so you don't need to go all in on stuff in order to start learning. And as you learn, then you start to be informed, and then you can get with your financial advisor and get the advice that you need and make informed decisions on what you want to do. You don't need to risk it all right away. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click here. And again, you could go to immutable.com, click on IMX token, and click here as well if you need to, study this stuff. It says stake tokens. It says learn more here. So that's how I'm getting here. And this is just taking you directly to the recent post they did, which is kind of funny because they're such a big organization, but they're just taking you to their Twitter thread where they posted some of this stuff. And here's where it gives you more details. The first phase of staking will begin with automatic rewards for active IMX users at the end of each cycle before soon switching to a self-custodial. I did want to talk about that, a self-custodial staking process. So right now it's not self-custodial, but they will be moving to self-custodial. That's also referred to as non-custodial. So what's self-custodial or non-custodial versus custodial? Custodial is when the organization controls your tokens. And it's generally being seen as bad because Terra Luna, for example, and a whole bunch of other projects have been, locking up people's tokens. They're not in your control. Centralized exchanges are custodial, and people have been talking about, not your keys, not your wallet. If you put your tokens into Binance or Coinbase, you may never see them again. Not likely with those two, but some of the smaller exchanges, but nonetheless, the risk is there if it's custodial. So just know that right now, Immutable is using custodial staking. But what they're saying here is they will soon switch to self-custodial, meaning it's in your control. And the other cool thing about Immutable, it's just so interesting how many similarities they have to Skylabs, VSL that's launching soon, is VSL's, Skylabs staking is also going to be self-custodial right from the get-go. Immutable started out building this where it would be custodial, and now they're, after Terra Luna collapse and everything else, they're now going to switch it to self-custodial, but it does start out as custodial. It says to be eligible for this first phase of staking, your Immutable X L2 wallet needs, and I'm going to show you how to find that if you don't know, it needs to hold 10 minimum IMX tokens throughout the 14-day cycle. And you also need to trade at least one NFT during the cycle. You can trade an NFT for almost nothing. So again, for those of you who don't want to risk a lot, but you want to learn, again, not financial advice, but it just seems reasonable that you would, just $10 of IMX tokens, and you start learning what the NFT space is about. You start learning how to do this kind of stuff without having to risk the farm. You know what I mean? The first staking cycle will be from July 1st to July 30th. Okay, I'm not going to read the rest of this. I'm going to go into more of this in future videos. Follow my channel if you want to really follow what's going on with Immutable. Why do I pick Immutable? It's one of a handful of projects that I'm taking advantage of in the bear market as I generate profits, from Better Platform and all these other early stage blockchain projects that are giving these high returns. I take a portion of that and I put it into projects like Immutable. I'll be talking about that on this channel. So follow this channel if you want to learn more about Immutable, why Immutable, what are some of the other projects that I'm getting into. Those of you that are in my Tribe 100X Discord, we're going to be diving deep into this stuff, for really, seeing the full gamut of what I'm doing. Again, never financial advice, but just kind of sharing with you my journey and how I'm taking advantage of the bear market. Okay, so let's show you how to find your L2, your Immutable X L2 wallet, connect that wallet and get set up. So to do that, you need to go to market.immutable.com, and I'll put links below this video that I'm referring to, market.immutable.com, and you'll need to connect your wallet. So I do need to say, you need to have IMX token in your MetaMask wallet in order to then move them into the Immutable X L2 wallet to stake them. So I'm not going to show you how to buy IMX. You can use Uniswap, Coinbase for those of you in the US. Depending on where you are in the world, you'll need to get IMX token in your MetaMask wallet in order to then do what I'm going to show you now, which is move them into the Immutable X L2 wallet to stake them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just pause my screen. I have another wallet that I've already done this in. It's been a little bit of time since I connected my wallet and stuff, so give me a second here as I just kind of get set up. You're going to need to be on the Ethereum blockchain, so make sure, you know, on your Immutable X, you know, I'll go ahead and show my screen here. So my, you know, my MetaMask is up here. I'm on the Ethereum mainnet, so make sure you're there. Now, I don't have any IMX in here because I've already staked my IMX with another wallet. Just know you'll need IMX in here, obviously, in your MetaMask that you purchased, as I was just saying, before you can obviously move them into your IMX custodial L2 wallet. Okay, so connect wallet, and then this says, you know, connect or create your own wallet to access Immutable X. So I'm going to show you with MetaMask. That's what I used. So, and I'm not going to show everything here because, you know, just for privacy, but I'm going to click MetaMask. And so I can show you this. So it says unlock Immutable X, connect a wallet account, sign to give access, set up an Immutable X key. Okay, so let's go. I'm going to go ahead and click get started down here. You know, and you can pause the video if you need to kind of go slower. We're just connecting the wallet, you know, so you don't see this part, but I'm selecting my wallet and I'm hitting next. And then I can show you this here, connect to this particular wallet. I'm going to say connect. So what you're doing is, in this case, I'm connecting MetaMask, you know, that you would want to have IMX token, and I don't because I've already staked them actually with a different wallet. I've already gone through this process, but I just wanted to kind of show you how to do this because at first, you know, I was having trouble even finding where was my L2 Immutable X wallet. Okay, so it says sign to give access. So I'm going to sign. So you're just connecting your wallet that has IMX in it. And by the way, if you wanted to connect your wallet even before there was IMX in it, you could do that. You could connect your wallet to their custodial wallet, and then you could add IMX to your MetaMask and come here and load it in really easily. I'm going to click sign. It's a lot of little steps to make the connection between your wallet, in this case, my MetaMask wallet, and the L2 custodial wallet on Immutable X. Set up Immutable X key. A unique key will be linked to the following wallets. This is like security stuff. If you already did this, check you have the correct wallet address selected. Set up key. You know, so you're just going to go through this process. I'm going to hit sign. Setup complete. Registration. I actually paused my screen here. Registration of your wallet with Immutable X has been complete. This window will appear each time you make a transaction in Immutable X. So, I mean, it might seem a little clunky, and I'm sure as the market continues to evolve and develop, you know, it's going to become easier and easier to use. But now you see, you know, again, we're at market.immutable.com, and now you see my wallet address up here, and you can go to balances. Also, remember, one of the requirements to get the staking rewards is you're going to have to trade an NFT. Now that can be really, really inexpensive. Like some of them you can get for pennies. And I'll have other videos on how to do that. I'm just showing you how to stake your tokens so you can at least get in the game, you know, and have them staked for this 14-day cycle. So balances, you know, it says add funds, you know, so this is where you would need to, it says instant. I never use the credit card option. So I do it, you know, deposit from wallet. So I just clicked on that, you know, and then you would choose the currency. What do you want to add? In this case, we would select Immutable X because you want to stake the Immutable IMX tokens, right? And then you would say how many you want to add. But again, you would need to have IMX token in your wallet to do this. And so I would enter the amount that I want, and I would hit next. And then you would, you know, confirm the transaction. And then you would have, you know, once you went through that process, which I've done on a different account, then when you went to balances, it would show that you had Immutable X in your L2 wallet. Again, this is a custodial wallet. It's in their control, not yours. Just like if you use exchanges like Binance or Coinbase or some other exchange, it's custodial. It's in their control, not yours. But the point that they were making is they're going to transition soon to non-custodial or self-custodial. It's the same thing, non-custodial and self-custodial, meaning they're going to set up staking that's in your control, because that's where the industry is probably going after the Terra Luna collapse and all kinds of other things, and people seeing the risks of giving your tokens to somebody else. And I just want to point out again, for those of you who've been following the Sky Labs launch and VSL staking that's coming out with that project, that's going to start out being self-custodial or non-custodial. It will never be custodial, which is super cool. All right, guys, so that's where you find your L2 Immutable X wallet. That's how you can start staking IMX tokens on their L2 Immutable X wallet. Just remember, it's a 14-day cycle. You need to have at least 10 IMX tokens in there to be able to get the rewards, which is only about $10. And you do need to be able to do at least one NFT trade. I'll have other videos on how to do that. I really love Immutable X. There's ZK rollups for those that don't know. It's just a way to be able to trade NFTs at basically zero cost almost, as opposed to, Ethereum fees and all these other chains that cost quite a bit to trade an NFT. Immutable X has brought the price pretty much to zero. I mean, there's little transaction fees here and there to get set up, but once you're set up and you're trading in the marketplace, it's free to trade NFTs. Other than the cost of the NFT itself. I will just show you really quick. And again, follow this channel if you need more help and assistance with this kind of a pace and this kind of a detail, because I'm going to be going over a lot of these things, not just with Immutable X, but other projects that have strong fundamentals and do sustainable practices like the move towards custodial non-custodial or self-custodial staking, and the fact that they're paying stakers royalties out of revenue, just like Sky Labs VSL token that's launching is doing. These are the kinds of things that we look for. Again, it's really important now more than ever to be looking for projects that are using sustainable practices, if that's not obvious after the Terra Luna collapse. So, one of the projects that, and I'll have other videos on this, one of the projects where I've purchased some NFTs and I'll probably doing my trading to qualify for the staking is here with Gods Unchained, which Immutable X actually owns. It's one of the projects that they have in their marketplace. You saw how I just clicked on that. Again, if we're at the market.immutablex.com and went to Gods Unchained right here. And these are different NFTs that you can use in the Gods Unchained game. And I originally started playing that game just for research, just to understand, like, this is what you got to do if you want to be successful. And again, it doesn't have to cost a bunch of money to do it. You can do minimal, and you can see like some of these things cost almost nothing. This is 2 cents. So you could just buy an NFT and you don't even know why you're buying it, just to qualify for staking. And even if you're only using 10 IMX tokens for less than $10, you might not be getting rich or anything, but at least you're understanding the process and you're getting into the process so that when you are ready to maybe invest more, a decision that you make, not from my advice, then you will be informed on how everything works. And when people talk about, you're learning about the metaverse and NFTs and trading and all of these things, you'll understand what it means. So, because you can't really fully understand what's going on if you're not engaging with it. So I just wanted to point out, it'd be less than $10 to set up your staking with Immutable X, and you could trade things that cost 2 cents. So we're not talking about a cost prohibitive situation here to be able to engage with these kinds of things. So anyway, showed you how to find your L2 Immutable X wallet, showed you how to connect it, and kind of walk you through how you can stake on their custodial L2 wallet, and just know that things will be changing. And again, if you want to follow all of that, come back here and to a different address, immutable.com. In fact, I'll just give you this, immutable.com, click on IMX token, and then scroll down and see where it says, how does staking work? And then if you want to know the details about where this is all going later, click learn more here and go to their Twitter and just read this announcement about the staking and read through all of these. They got like 10 different posts, and they're talking about how eventually they're going to move to non-custodial staking. If you want someone to walk you through all this as it evolves, I'm really into Immutable X for one of my long-term plays, one of the things that I'm investing into in the bear market. That's where the opportunities are. Again, for those following what I usually talk about, I will continue, obviously using this channel to talk about what we're doing off the Vetter platform. I love this resource where you see these early stage blockchain projects that are newly launching across 16 different chains, a lot of them off the BSC, but there's also all of them. And we get into these, and it's just incredible the returns that we're getting, 3X's, 7X. And again, I saw a 97X last month, 30X not long ago. It's 3,000%. And then we're taking some of those profits and I'm putting them into these kinds of projects like Immutable X and then staking and stuff. So I'll be talking a lot more about this on this channel. And then in our Tribe 100X Discord, we'll be deep diving to this stuff for those that really want to know how am I taking advantage of the bear market. We'll see you soon.